thought we did a lot of things really well tonight. I thought we shot the ball, really well. I thought we shot free throws extremely well. We rebounded the ball really well. I thought for the most part we competed pretty well. This team runs a lot of really interesting action. It's hard to guard. You have to be pretty. You have to have your rules down. You have to be pretty sound in how you execute defensively. And I thought we had a group of guys who executed that really well for us. Got us out to a nice lead, and then we got some guys that are still learning. But I think which got the game in a situation where they made a couple runs back at us. But all in all, I'm really pleased with the win. I think it's a good way to bounce back from a tough weekend last weekend, and look forward to the game on Saturday.
Coach, you subbed in. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. You subbed in Craig Cusick fairly early, and he ended the night with 29 minutes at the point position. Can you talk about his play, what he did for you guys?
I thought he was just really steady. I thought he managed the game really well. He had 8 defensive rebounds, and so he was in a position to where. But what Craig really understands is our defensive system, and he understands. There were a lot of double teams tonight where we had to get that ball stopped because they have really good penetrators and needed a second defender. And then that leaves the weak side really open, and you have to have your guys really assignment sound to take care of those shooters. All 4 of the guys can shoot. And in our practices the last 2 days, Craig's a guy who showed that he really had those concepts down really well. And so we played him a lot tonight, and he played well and really helped us.
Did you go with Craig instead of Matt to start the second half because of Craig's play or because of Matt's injury?
Probably a combination of both. I thought that Craig had led us really well. I thought Matt had forced some things. Matt's trying. He really's got a unique style to run our team. Okay, and right now he's not shooting the ball like he wants to, and I think he's kind of forcing things. And so I thought it would be a good idea to have him sit and watch for a minute. And we came right back in and got a great play, great transition basket to Brock. What he does really well is push that ball and look up. And but everybody who's seen Matt play knows that he's in a situation right now where he wants to play better, and we'll help him. It'll happen.
Your 4 bigs ended the half, each with 2 fouls. Can you talk about what led to that and what kind of frustration?
Well, they're pretty aggressive, attacking offensive team, and I thought that we tried to zone a little bit more tonight in the first half and hit a couple big shots in that. But it's just a matter of figuring out how the game's being called and not getting yourself in a tough situation. And if you get a little bit behind, that's usually what happens with our big guys, is they recognize the play a little bit late, and so they're a little out of position, and they try to make up for it at the time. What we need to do is find another way, take a different angle instead of the angle that we kind of demand these guys to take. If they're doing it right and executing it right, that if they are a little bit late, that instead of trying to force that, maybe adjust that angle. And those are all things we can help them with as coaches. We just need to spend more time at it.
Looked like Brandon was consciously trying to stay out of foul trouble, but sometimes fouls just find him, I guess.
Yeah,
is there anything you can do about that?
I think people understand that he's a really big part of what we do, and I think it's maybe if it's not 1, it might be 1A on their game board to take that thing right at him. And I think that, when you have a big guy who is as dominant offensively as he is and can be for us, that's a way that you can really affect the game, is to attack him and get him in foul trouble. And what Bean needs, and he's an aggressive player. He loves to take charges, and those are always kind of 50-50 calls. And so, like I said, there's a lot of things that we can do as a staff to help him. But I thought he did a really good job tonight of staying in the game. And the bottom line is we have to have guys behind him that can step up and play. And I thought Ian did a good job in the first half coming in. But he made some untimely fouls, and those are all things we can learn from.
Augie came in and provided some instant offense for you. Made a
I was
real
really,
impact.
really happy for Augie. I thought that those are probably the best 6 or 7 minutes that he's played for us so far. I think that you hit a couple shots, and that's what everybody sees, and everybody's excited about that. But defensively, he was so much better in his assignments, and that's how you can tell that he's starting to catch on. And I think Augie's going to be a big part of our team. It's early, and we're trying to learn a lot of things in every game, but with obviously the number one priority to try to win them. And so I think he's coming along. This was a big step forward for him.
Coach, every player you had in the game scored tonight. How important is it to give these guys playing time early in the season?
Well, I think what you have to do is you have to spend all your time in practice teaching, and then you have to reward the guys with time for their execution in a game. And if they go in and actually make 3 or 4 mistakes, and there's 2 or 3 other guys that we're still trying to get time, they got to understand that we're going to try and get the guys that are playing on attack and playing with the most confidence, and also are make the least amount of mistakes. And right now, I think I've got a lot of guys looking over their shoulder, which I don't really like, and hopefully we can get through that.
Coach, Josh Sharp was a guy who played really limited minutes last year, had 30 minutes tonight, and produced as well. What is he bringing to the table this season that he didn't really bring to the table last year? How has he progressed?
Well, I think that he's a guy in that 4 spot that we can count on to be in the right place at the right time, and then he makes timely plays. There's a huge play in the game tonight when we're out on the perimeter and we get back cut, maybe slip, and the guy's taking the ball right to the rim. I think it's maybe a 14, 12-point game. They've had 3 or 4 possessions in a row where they've scored, and we were just flat beat. And Brock comes from the weak. Josh comes from the weak side and blocks that shot, leads out to transition. We get a basket. That's what we can really count on with Josh. He's in the right spot at the right time, and he's in so much better shape right now. Those are probably the big.
Dave, this weekend coming up is a big weekend for your program, and as a lot of people know, what can fans do, or what do you want to see Saturday from BYU fans?
I think just what we always want to see. We got a game on Saturday night, and the highest priority is to try to win the game, and we want a full house, as many people as can come, and I think it should be a really exciting game. I think Northridge is a very good team, won quite a few games so far this year, and that the energy and the excitement in the Marriott Center when it's full is terrific, and that's what I hope for.
What did you learn about your team from this weekend in New York that can help you as you go forward?
Well, there's a couple things. I think the big thing was that early, right now at this time, we need Brandon on the floor. Okay, the more minutes that we can play with B on the floor, the better the wood will be. But what that's taught us another lesson is that we need to grow that position too. Okay, we need to find, with Nate and Ian, where they become a lot more comfortable, and I think we got some good minutes out of Ian. But right now, our best team is with B in there playing through him. Okay. Another thing I learned is that we've got a lot of fight in us. The night against Florida State, when things weren't going very well for us, we had 22 offensive rebounds. I think we actually had 38 offensive rebounds on the weekend. Those are great signs for a coach. And then to actually come home from a disappointment and come back and respond and play. There's certain numbers that are really important in a game, and shooting from the free throw line is a huge number that you look at, see where your guys are mentally. Rebounding is a big number, and you look at the fact that we out-rebounded 48-21. Those are signs that I think our team's got a lot of fight in us. All right? Thanks guys.